And the minority for no yes, no, and the majority for raise issue say the General Secretary of NDC, don't see a Ketia at baby a friend public gallery, was so and or Tesoro, and you are also so MPA. Na I said Ketia now MPA no speaker and count once MPA. The majority felt say the speaker and one fair. It is a certain Ketia to Hua, and now they are one more better than Montino. They stage a walkout. And what a minority for no say budget to normal burgo. Akuoko Kwarteng bebre. Article 102 of the Constitution, what does it say? Article 108 of the Constitution, what does it say? Article 102 quorum, Article 108 decision making, Article 1043 decision making, model standing order 108. Yene rasoja phone be did in command no pay na anope de abrem yaman in the morning Akuoko Kwarteng anope Kessben Maakye and I attend live on Kessben television Kessben FM 929933 mama ko man so na me ko adwuma kakra emra of course ma ho fa hema nya ko abroad no magima seated na na free posiga and so atena se yebeba na kodo bon krata ne so na mama ne honorable member of parliament honorable David Opoku and prior member of parliament encoding komo kakra ono na me hu say in the video or tia mo sorry me enko honorable good morning.
Good morning.
Nampo me de
Akuoko.
Obi bisa say mo na ade hia mo we say mo na mo wa ba mo majority members of parliament ti mo ade hia mo no de nti na hu ko hia say say mo pia bontina mo budget no.
I think they think I'm a fa kunyana mecha.
Kessben.
What is important is at all times we must look at the national interest first. I mean, whether you are NDC or you are NPC, the most important thing for us to do as parliamentarians is to look at the national interest first. I thought that now we should say now we should display of bias at ECOSWA. I think you are better off advising yourself than sitting down for the country to come to a halt. Like I've said, nobody can hold this country to a ransom. And for me, as a protector of our democracy, as a believer in our laws, and somebody who have been elected by the good people of Impraiso to sit in parliament and make laws. So you won't say the big common here. I think we better advise ourselves. I have said, budget here come and say more. And then we say, yempini. Umpini is saying. Umpini is saying. It didn't say that. And people make claims to President Lima at Abenso. President Lima at Abenso, nobody rejected Lima's budget. It was just an amendment of the budget, a portion of the budget, just like what is happening, which was rejected. But to say that you are rejecting an entire budget of our country, it means that you want this country to come to a halt.
Honorable Yababa rejection is na yen share the technicality course of law. Now, as I drink it here, now the upper, that is the public gallery, reason na most mode betwa bano. The chamber, that is the floor of parliament. And Tina Mose or Munum Pieno, say Baya, Mu Pejamosana Mo Kaya, Yanko Kai Obia, on your member of parliament, I be your minister now on Kamaho, na Uncle Tenny Butuno, because he wanted to be fair. Obi bisa se baby na se dun ketiate na only floor of parliament. So ehun be na dey here say tintina be ka so mpingo.
So first of all, we first engage in a voice vote. You say Parliament, time I cover a briefly out. Parliament says, ma ubi diara, and Parliament, especially if you are not a member of Parliament. For a very long time, the gallery hall, nipa emma. This has been a convention for some time now. If the gallery on your baby will be back. And of course, in a voice vote like this, knowing very well that there are people not in the gallery. If you allow a student to get here and its people to also come there, it may affect the voice vote. And when we realized that it was there, we thought that it had no business there. Nobody saw him. What if he contributed to the voice? That led to the speaker saying, the nose habit. What if on any driver and any security portfolio they also contributed?
Honorable, now is it possible, sir, more kind nipa of floor of parliament, looking at where the gallery is, anywhere he was sitting, no, to me about track what kind of fra?
Well, I make a say, for you to now, can for everything I contributed to the DNA through division. I think Kenneth Ferrata they should walk out of the chamber. Then I said it must also leave us so that it becomes an all parliamentary affair, all MPs affairs. But you see, for us, the most important thing is how a section of our MPs would want to reject a budget ever bet you have police worker, a budget ever bet you have nurse worker, budget ever bet you have free SHS budget and loans. That should be the concern and worry of everybody.
Honorable minority and almost statement Omodebaya no pay Kessben Yensake, they are saying they are not rejecting the budget, but almost key issues be more. Almost say the finance minister need to do those corrections. Sana Sam Baba Kunye, a Japan deal. Almost say Ababe Urem. Afe, they are calling for suspension of the proposed 1.75% e-levy. Afe, almost says a court budget in him, paragraph 829. Eka energy deal, GMPC, AGM petroleum issues be almost say a honor. Paragraph no finance minister near the friend reconstruction. Na ebio benchmark value na omo reverse ye so they should revisit it. Na omo re send the emfa ho kirem ready for na afe kita see defense ama budget no so on farm rem. Omo ma condition say any menum finance minister to me ya omo de eno an say yankonkon a obeka ne say.
No, but you see, who should see what parliament the finance minister, after both sides, both minority and majority leaders have made their submission, paid to the parliament, okay, in some of my I came to represent the president. So it will be important for me to go back, consult with appropriate leaders, in a form. Then I can now come back and report to you. If you were not ready to reject the budget, you should have listened to the prayer of the finance minister. So
Okay.
it is actually they are now using that angle. They say they did not reject the budget. They did. I mean, that unconstitutional court. You could see that they rejected the budget. Article 140 is very, very clear. Article 140 does not talk about quorum. 102 talks about quorum. Article 140, it talks about at the point of voting on every serious matter. And before in times past, say NDC for working out. NDC for working out are you or anybody who works out, you have always had more than half of the people present.
Okay. More walkout here, the people are saying this. It was a strategy. I mean, adopted by the leadership from majority side, including I say because you were not having the number or the numbers.
Oh, what shows?
Because almost say 137. Honorable Sarah Josafua was absent. There were some of your MPs more by Honorable Kennedy, the pony others in by Barcelona Money number no, and I even say 137, the crown and Kamoto ya. Based on one model standing orders, no, say a quartai, a pie, just and a rejected budget, no, deny a strategy. Like I say.
Well, I think let's look at the national interest. Let's look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture of a budget being rejected for the first time in our country, the history of this country. That for me should be the concern of everybody.
Honorable OPK, Anope Yene Yeti for Niarefo as a member of parliament for the good people of Impriso. We share video now, no, na, Ujina, Mrasebedium floor, no, say, Monsori Mianco, Yene no Akudi and Komono. My bono Siampa Usima, Adriana Mensa. This is your favorite morning show, Kessben Maakye, on Kessben Television, Kessben FM, and Mutie across the country. And I'll pay my guest, Honorable Ben Aye, former member of parliament, Upper Denchina West, and Honorable Aquina Steria, former MP Infantimine West. Sample you for no pay no more ebesinko. Namidi the Kwabena Akuoko Kwarteng meet me from a KK. My sweet girl is seated. Nyako abroad of Majima. Oba Makwaba.
I'm a honorable gentleman. Prepare with time or at the year pa. Said the baby see that white and no name blue black in the field.
Mamene Honorable Joseph Kwame Kuma and this member of parliament for Kintamponov, encoding Komokakra Emra. Dameshe minority side. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, Minia.
Bachona Eyade, Umpomie.
Yeah, Name no Mumpai boy here.
Honorable, now then, budget ya debebo or mehobra, mu MPs mudium, Ghana for Ketia or mining now be a deum. Na ebedu mo nim se muni anum dom dodo no kra sori a mo so se mabogu kra adentia
Oh, Madam Kessben FM for Sakonya no pay. I mean, and Chankra for Ghana for Nina, Mikasa in Tampo Maya or Masuma Memra should be your musho. That's it, I'm on. So, Modima Baho said, Yambayan Sampamagana. Yeah, Church, I call Masikano Yamra. That will be a buyer or child guashawam. Means Numa Wire. And near Scout sign here. The Afibakune Tramuno. Kaya Diamano near Odia. Now, near way and Nimuno so Scout here. And it's any bit to me. And yes, Canada, Jumano. Minia, we a duty in check the Ebanasa. Not true. A Comomascana near Deban. Yema, you say, apart from taxes, be for be I had to Ghana for so. Be a diesel fang also. Be a road tool, Enoma, Yetia, be a solar levy, energy sector levy, Ninoma, no mano. A buffer to one, a quack do what. And now, say, okay, Tama, Ansana, your papa na do ni MPP abambe bapawano. Esa ne bo jo ma chipa. It's excellency your mama and this aban. And then omode politics here then. E de ba ban say o futu no do so do. Na omo ba ombete so. Omo ba ombe yi de brinu asinchen. And say Ghana for bresa. It is kason so ye bre. Ye minor enter ye bresa. You carry those slogans from Papa Nanado and His Excellency Baumia. Say a lazy man's approach to depend on taxes into a more jive for tour. Now more did your mama near NDC attempt. They say you own Indiana in a quadro.
Honorable Nina, yeah, particular misstatement and a comment, yeah. Now back to Parliament, but to be bow. Nina, yeah, Muhammad Semua, Mokaka, and they here badge for 2022. And minority,
perhaps I may build the banana.
But minority concern, they said, body to find.
Me fan say yes am your semino no be the GD ta wachi now be nya bwa na so tena say o yi sa foto no nyina afi so na say nya ba sa budget ya ba ye sem a yes ye bo egu ni say ye de sika e be to mobile money so mumu ya e levy and e be the center of the whole controversy so what you say actually say no ya ma me no mo runkitu amu ni omo akra wonti me nya lord fe nkopaga enkofa tomatoes ni no ma obetena ho di sika mane no that you say 10 million me 10 million e mane paga ana minua bi wo ba bi fra ense mitua 35 cedis wo so because already MTM for be answer nipa ne benya 10 million hono mitua 10 cedi ama memo ni no na matandi 10 cedi after so ama na timi agya 10 million ho na say 1.750 no na eno so matua eno 17 cedis aka ho ya de ka ho ne MTM for de na ekoye 30 cedi 75 ayi eko almost 40 cedi
so issues ni nyina ma raise so now no budget no way forward me say
yes and I say mon ko yi sa foto no bi mfiri so eya jojo eya adwene ye kire se nka mo ye ni se ebeboa ansa na ebeba budget no the solo post budget retreat so omuri budget no kuada na ni fiada ye call workshop ema nimdie for be kire mu ha bebre no kuntia say oh no that's not the way to go so buti na ye twom na say omode baba ni normal nti ya abaya ye tie man nsema na kan say ye bibi kakra wo ho eshia ne ka so okay we bi ayate so we yi we afiri so nti no mo de mo men kona na kia ne ke e de ne amaka na maka so ate
okay
nti mo ba ne na donkuma no ye voice vote ye to aba
honorable issues no de me ne unua member of parliament one price so di nkomo nti ya bobo de call ye ni na me bisa simple question say way forward ne say because we need a budget for 2020
and way forward ne say I say abakosem ya obi ka say prosperity wo jaja o si ebi atia ye papa Hilary mamemre dom kasi ya mre omo no mo to ne budget guye say ne ba bi no mo ani nje ho ena nyame ma history na repeat no ho ndi say nde ya gina Ghana fo na mu say budget no 11 ni no ma bi ankoyi omo san ko hwemu a anya so obi an pese Ghana ma benya komotika omo say omo san ko back omo nkotena se ne aye boso no ne Ghana for say yempe no ye gina omo na mu so yempe no omo nyimfiri ho na omo famra na ya improve.
Okay, honorable, thank you very much. Mamino Asina, Honorable Joseph Kwame Kuma, a member of Parliament, Kintampo. I was on your Aquabronoma, Bepa Dawa, Nemagosia, Aqua baby.
Honorable Major,
Sir, Mammy, what you know, BBI fine there, BBI
Yamea Duma, and then I watch any bay now.
Oh, okay,
I will be crum.
Yabompa, Babba Tower, Babba Tower. I go, and was way, the other one.
Mekuta the new Crusading Guide, the Obokratano, Ewa Hasei. Majority and Komoboya, Rashebe Jafie, and I know the drama course so honum, a home Komobano, Pewaboya, and I say me home, Yera Aban Sumano Baben, Ewa Hasei. Na Krata each say majority cut Baben to size. Afe one more a budget one more anyan tumuno and once and some nina ewa hasay. Nanso mami bi dia to just say 11 no a most innovative task ya chase na ewo budget 2022 no emupa yanka ehu enso yina na paper no so anim hasay ya me hu mami Gloria Opoku Annie I say auntie Mami Gloria Opoko Auntie Ewaha wano ena ye executive director Edima Zoom Lion Ghana.
Okay,
Wanyaba
subo. Okay, waya dear pa. Okay. And young next paper so delegate.
Okay. Yasha delegate.
Okay.
The Obokrata no. Na we say so yera aban sumana baben and I know the course so ewa Ghana mrashebe jofie no say nkra ne chese wa fly oko Dubai. Was setting chaos anyway and what na edupremu ya wo ko Dubai cross me from mobile.
I don't know no setting chaos. Let's speak at the under the baby.
The baby na say me cross we
MPP NDC members of parliament.
On na me etu onu na shame finfia wo hwa ma asumdua ba.
Let's speak at the hotel ho. Nti mu na mu se mu ye bo pie na abi.
Ene wo ko Dubai so no. Na me hu osafo wo hwe ya ho odenie ensam so. Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe Napo, one so ne die. What I say? Doom so no ekoso was antimantem. Kumasi for one man papa.
Okay.
Kumasi in important was in the bonus sokora.
Okay.
And then there was a great go any empenifo one my supply ewo enyama hoden.
Okay.
Na woman aso adwuna pekwanya doom so no. To betwa was antimantem and important.
And I'm so sure paper anymore. Do no yeah. budget
Parliament House, yeah. Say COVID-19. Fufro bi aba variant bi aba say friend no Omicron.
Okay.
Na enu na unity yes e hu sene de aba sene twam ni
na. I know Dr. Patrick Kumabo dey on press conference.
To was December say ya yi de si was say a vaccination month.
Obia yes friend say Omicron.
Omicron.
Asemo.
Yes e Greek kasa.
Je say about the sini nyina no she remain closed. Okay. Nana Brempo akwaba. Nana na mpom ye de. Na mpom ye de.
Shifting cultivation baby.
And I used to wear mommy. Use microphone with my mem say we know just Andy Baba.
And only shifting cultivation.
Producer like catch me say me
producer we are Baba. Baba Hama. Now I'm tell quick one on the budget. Now me ria ya fast sports aba. Mami tell.
Yeah, honorable Papa ya ni din komo. He's a fantastic person but the me medikaka and I wouldn't amend what I've been saying for this while. If your budget, I see the e-levy is good. It's good. Just that MPP, I'm lucky. And Eyako say yaba omaba share a discerning Ghanaians. E-levy is good. I remember 2016 nana. Yeah, 2016 nana Kujuba introduced communication service tax. The idea was that Ghana, we will need more people to use phones. So the BG. And the introduces Adian, Oko Parliament, communication service tax. No. Opposition need to need talk tax. Say, hey, and that year, Ghana, ye baba, ye okasa krano, ye baba beto tax. Okasa gufo so krano, honorable, ye baba beto tax. You understand? But na idea ne say, as I say, ye tesa tax no. Emma obi bi obekwa kofa phones e dia ba Ghana no. Ye man tax free. Se ne be ya phone bebu o Ghana, e bu o Ghana. O de kofa phone ba no be fa obi afa na dwuma a hwe ne phones ama no. Enkofa phones be say obi su be dia dwuma ye. We gave ourselves 5 years says. That 5 years no. As I say an 8-year-old girl it be so phone Ghana and then come a year to say Jamaica watches. Phone abu. The same opposition no more can say a talk tax and your papa no. When NDC came to power looking for money to finance national youth employment, they used the talk tax. And I'm telling you about fact that Sadi will say so tuma about the next government by that will be chemuda. I didn't MPP for one could be preco. I refer to VAT.
VAT, yeah.
The largest and the mammoth demonstration ever happened in the history of this country. And that I was reading African Watch magazine. Say the largest, not even the Nigerian, the one that's against Abacha. But Kumi Prako demonstration, Tamale Kumasi, amassed about 5 billion people. You understand? Say VAT, you buy a victim, but MPP buy him. Oba and yes, Omo Ayuko, Omo embrace you. Omo Sabe to Mukra. Jamaican watch I say it's something that's going to help the nation.
Tiana dentina ebebo mine, but yeah, politicians, yes, sir.
That's what I mean say. Politician biano. We are political science. You beka ye casting campaigns at the church say. Memem pese adiane beko ama that be a block me future possibilities. That's what I believe.
Okay.
Jamaican watch I say.
Nana,
we will come back and talk about this thing.
Yeah.
Obi bia beka cho say 11 years and you crack.
Nana,
11 it is good.
And common interesting. Yeah, babaka. Yeah, babu boss so kakra. Nyakwa bronuma Nana from Posiga and Motio Moncano. Yakwa fast sports no Abramo sports papa. Hiniba Maakye me and Tony Montana ayakra. Say yaba ye won sempi at the mama. Stay tuned. Our Kessben TV. Kessben FM. Bidi ni kwabena